Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Trevor wasn't kidding. He said, well, we got to go, like, right now. Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com, and we're delighted you're here. We're broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. I'm Vincent Finelli. Captain John Regan is with us. Welcome, Captain John Regan.
Good morning, Vincent.
It's a couple days after the expo, and we're just slowly getting our lives back in order. And I think tonight is the day we actually start. We can have some sleep, and that's going to be kind of nice. And I know you've driven a long way, and you're slowly getting back into your routine. Are you worn out a little bit?
You look at this last week. Today I'll make a total of 4 hours on the radio in the past week. I had 3 hours of presentations at the expo, not counting all the other discussions there, and roughly 1,000 miles of driving.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Did people say to you they can't wait till the next one?
I just counted it as a win that people didn't run out of my seminar screaming.
Yeah, it's when I think back at some of the things that we've done, you and I have done at the meetups, and we'll start out with some smiles, and I'll say, coming up next is John Regan. He's going to wipe that smile right off your face. With your news. It's not like you created the news. You're just analyzing it and saying, here's what it means.
And it was so fun, late Sunday when some people found out that I was going to be spending the night there at the farm, and, Dr. Miller was going to be there too. They said, hey, we buy tickets to watch
that. I just figured out that we had people from 5 states at the farm, and one of the guys I'd never met before, and people said, you let people stay at your farm you've never met? I said, yeah, but that's nothing compared to Mike Ma coming. I said the first time that Mike Ma came to the farm, he stayed overnight. I mean, I slept with one eye open. I mean, he was at the meetup on Monday, and I said, Mike Ma is one of the scariest guys I know. And you know what? He took offense to that. He said, what? I'm one of the nicest guys. And that's absolutely true. He's one of the nicest guys. As long as he's on your side. But man, oh man, I would not want to be on the other side against Mike Ma. And the funny thing is, I have a meeting this afternoon with the city of Lebanon. We're going to discuss, the future of expos in Lebanon and how much they want to participate with the K9 team, which is one level below SWAT, the 2 fire trucks that showed up with lights and sirens and scaring everybody away from the expo. I want to discuss how much they plan on participating, because if they want to continue that, there's no way. We'll just have to call for a national boycott against the city of Lebanon. But so I said to Mike Ma at the meetup, hey Mike, this was on Monday. I said, hey, Mike, what are you doing Wednesday? Want to come to Lebanon? he said, Vincent, you don't want me there. There'd be blood everywhere. Oh man. Did you see, Mike, just stand up and start coughing and getting sick during dinner? Did you see him do that in the middle of, the presentation?
Yeah, I'm so used to it. I just kept on talking to the people at the table.
He was so disruptive. I mean, it was funny. That's what he does. I mean, he gets everybody's attention. Everybody's having fun, and all of a sudden he starts coughing and hacking and reaching and asking for help, and people think he's going to die right there on the spot. And whatever he's got, they don't want to get it. Everybody's going to throw up on him. Oh, jeez. And it's all an act. It's all an act to teach you what you need to do if you're outnumbered and outgunned, and you need to clear a path through the enemy. But we had a lot of fun at the expo, and I'm thinking about the next one and how we're going to do it. And people are saying we should have it at the farm, and a big circus tent, and we can certainly do that. But the thing that we do, I believe, better than anybody else, and I'm not talking about me. What I'm talking about is we, USA Preparers. What we do, the faculty of USA Preparers, is have better seminars, better information, more concise, more accurate, more on point than any place else. As a matter of fact, I'd be willing to bet that USA Preparers event over the weekend is more educational than all the other expos, all the other preparedness and survival expos combined. We can do it in 2 days, and all the rest of them do it in a whole year. Literally, that's my take on it, and I believe that's accurate. That's based on things I've been told. So it's not bragging. Actually, maybe it is. Maybe I am bragging about our instructors. It's not me. It's guys like John Regan, Norm Shealy, Matt Stein, Richard Allen Miller, Ed Marvini. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. And I better stop before I, leave anybody out. I'm going to leave about 200 out. But that's really the way it is. Wouldn't you say that, John?
Yeah, the good thing is, if you ever had a show where nobody showed up, all you got to do is read off the list of instructors, and you've used up the 2 hours.
Actually, we did that a couple times. It's not that, but there was a crowd, but all we did, literally, on Friday night was just talk about who was going to be there, just 2 minutes apiece at the microphone. And, sometimes that's pretty hard. You get John Statmiller up there, and you give him 2 minutes, and, he has a tough time with judging time. But, it's really tough when you get broadcasters. I'm saying that affectionately about John Statmiller. When you have broadcasters, they have a lot to say, and we had a lot of broadcasters. And, but 2 minutes apiece at the microphone took 3 hours, from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, just to say who we are, why we're there, what we're going to teach. And that's one of the most fun things. John, I have a report. I think I'll read it. And very quickly, I have a report that someone gave me in a binder, and his name is J.C. Gately III. And I'm going to have to give you the intro to this. So this gentleman called me up before the expo, and he said, well, I'm coming to the expo. He kind of hemmed and hawed a little bit, and finally said, look, I'm going to tell you the truth. I want to have an expo, and I want to model it after yours. I want to see how to do it. I want to see how you do your expo. And so I want to follow you around, and I want to learn, and I want you to be my mentor. And I said, okay, that's fine. But when you're done, I would like to know what you thought. And I also think that you will find that this expo will be one of your life's 10 most memorable events. And I think he thought I was kidding. I'm not sure, but that's kind of a pretty strong claim. Well, I have this report that he handed me. It's bound. I mean, he did a nice job. It says, report to Vincent Finelli by J.C. Gately III. Upon arriving at the Cowan Civic Center in Lebanon, Missouri, Friday, March 27th, 2015, I introduced myself to Vincent Finelli, and I reminded him of who I was and that I was looking forward to being at the show and learning all that I could about the type of show that he was promoting and the business side of the show. Unfortunately, he advised me that he was not available for me to follow him around as we originally discussed, but that I was free to hand out cards and pick up cards from those vendors at the show. Then he proceeded to invite me to attend a seminar being held in one of the exhibit halls where I had the privilege to meet and listen to three of the most well-versed persons on the subject of preparedness it has been my good fortune to hear. Afterwards, I attended a delicious meal and got to hear from several vendors at the show with little nuggets of information about their backgrounds and products. I had to leave early, so I missed the closing remarks and I'm sure insightful comments about other topics that I found fascinating. Today I arrived, and this was Saturday, to find the exhibition hall teeming with vendors, as Vincent says, guests walking through as vendors sported their wares and guests asked important questions about each item. To say the speakers were phenomenal as yesterday's is putting it mildly. I was impressed by the fact that even though there were changes made the night before to the speaker lineup, the fluidity of the system seemed to move like a well-oiled machine. Out was most impressed that through it all, every time I saw Vincent, he seemed in control, handing out marching orders to the troops in a seamless manner. As the day wore down, to its close, my vivid thought as I was walking through the throngs of people reminded myself of why I was there in the first place. So, Mr. Finelli, as to the question you posed to me several weeks ago as to whether the event was one of my most memorable events I've ever been to, I will rank it among my top 10. Behind my marriage of my loving wife of 40 years, the birth of my son bearing my name, and the day I witnessed 1 million Christian men bow in unison on the Mall in Washington, D.C. to pledge their life being the head of their families again. So, yes, this has been up there with what I refer to as a mountaintop experience. And even if I go no further with my plans, as part of an upcoming show, I will be participating in, and I will carry in my heart this time and these people and this experience for the rest of my life. Thank you for the opportunity, and I hope to return again and again to renew friendships and make new ones. Respectfully, in his service, J.C. Gately III. He had a comment, and I'll read the comment right after this break.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Captain John Regan's with us, and so I was reading a report that was written by J.C. Gately III, and he bound it and put it in a cover. It was really kind of nice. It was actually very nice. And he signed it, and then it says, P.S., in the future, a blessing before the meals would be appropriate as opposed to a general blessing over the entire event. Now, I agree. That would have been very nice. But I want to tell you, JC, I have invited priests, ministers, every walk of faith that I could find to come to the Get Prepared Expo. I've invited churches, and I've said, you guys have 52 weeks where you celebrate services and Mass, and you're in the sanctuary. And how about 1 week? Just 1 week. Just one weekend where you bring your flock, your parishioners, your members to the Get Prepared Expo and let them learn about physical preparedness so they can come another 51 weeks. No minister, priest, rabbi, or head of a church will do it. Not one. Not one will bring his or her flock to the Get Prepared Expo. And I think I know the reason why. Because we don't have a collection plate at the Get Prepared Expo for services. I think that's it. I think they would forego passing around the plate for donations for that weekend or that Sunday's services. So I think that's why they don't come. It makes absolutely no sense to me. So I wanted to share that little tidbit of information about the churches. And I have another suggestion for those of you who are members of churches where you tithe and where you donate money. How about this? How about saying to the head of your church, the person who is the broker between you and your God, that guy. How about if you say, does that sound sacrilegious? I didn't mean it to be. I don't have a broker. I don't have a broker between me and my God, and neither does Mrs. Finelli or our children. We speak directly to God. Make sure that there's no miscommunication. Well, how about this? How about if you are spending money at a church and you say to your leader of your church, I know you want me to do well, and I know you want me to spread the message, and here's what I plan on doing. That money that I was giving to the church, I am going to create a seed bank. I'm going to buy some seeds, and I'm going to use that money that I was using for the church to give people seeds, and I'm going to teach them how to garden. I'm going to create a militia, a gardening militia, so that we can all survive and still be members of the church. So, and I know, Pastor, that you approve of that. I know that you want me to spread the word of God and to more people, and we'll have more people because they'll survive, because we're going to teach them how to garden and save their own families and lives. What do you think? You'll probably see a very interesting look on your pastor's face, like, how do I get out of this one? John Regan, back to you.
It's kind of interesting being there at the farm. Like you said, there's several people there in the broadcasting, especially John Stadtmiller, for over 20 years. And it seems like I wasn't quite what they expected.
What do you mean?
And I also know, sitting around the breakfast table, it's less than 2 hours before we're on the air, and I think people were looking at me like, this guy's not going to be on the air today. There's no way. And you even have a nice blackmail photo you took there in the studio where, I came up to the studio still wearing the clothes I slept in, barefoot. But I sit down behind the microphone, and it's like John Stadtmiller said, I just become, different. And it seems like it wasn't what he's expecting, or how he's been through a number of radio personalities, how they are behind the microphone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I just want you to know, I never said that you were barefoot. You said that. but and when I took the picture, I didn't take a picture of your feet. Yeah, it was really something. We had people sleeping all over the living room and in the dining room, and we were all kitchen. We were all spread out upstairs, downstairs, all over. We had a house full. But let me ask you, when we come back, was that fun or what? John Regan, Captain, U.S. Air Force Reserves, retired. We'll be right back.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call? And how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins. But did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoin by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer Bidbit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
Talk about preparedness. We you're listening to commercials about next year's Get Prepared Expo. Actually, what's happened is I need to record new commercials, and my voice was shot from the expo, so I'm hoping that by this afternoon it'll be back where I can record new commercials for USA Prepares. And, John, I wanted to share something with you. There's only been, two instances where I've had to ask people not to participate in the Get Prepared Expo. Tell you what one of them was. Expo number 1 in Springfield, Missouri. We had ammo dealers and gun dealers and, you know, all the other survival type exhibits, as well as the seminars. And on setup day Friday, our son, you know, we're all, you know, gun type people here at the farm. All of us have them, and so we're pretty up to speed on how to use them, and we're up to speed on safety and things like that. And we're very, very concerned about making sure our expo is safe and we don't have any accidental discharges of firearms. So we tell all the gun guys, the sellers of guns, look, here's the deal. You know the drill. The guns have to be tie wrapped so that the actions are locked, so you can't put a cartridge in, you know, in the firearm, and or the rifle or the pistol or the shotgun, and you can't use the action, so that no one, you know, kind of points it and then squeeze the trigger and has it go off and hurt someone. So we tell everybody on Friday, okay, as they're setting up, you know, tie wrap the actions. Yep. Tie wrap the actions. Yep. Mm-hmm. And we go around and around and we keep reminding them. And so the expo starts on Saturday, and I get a message that the police are outside. So I greeted them outside, and my son videotaped the interaction with me and the cops, city cops in Springfield. And it went very, very smoothly. And the cops said, look, we got a complaint. You want us to take care of it, or do you want to take care of it? And I said, I'll take care of it. So I went inside, and I saw the guy, and he didn't tie wrap his guns, as he was directed to by me and the rest of our staff. And he knew better, because it wasn't his first gun show. And it wasn't his first, it was his first expo, but it wasn't his first gun show. So this guy, you know, is selling guns for quite a while. So I said to him, just want to let you know, I prevented you from having a nice chat with the police. They're outside, and we asked you to tie wrap your guns, and you didn't do it. We asked you repeatedly. You didn't do it. Now get out. Right now. I threw him out. That was one. So, you know, when it comes to the expo, it's my responsibility and my duty to make sure that I protect the interests of our guests. Well, I had another encounter at this expo, and this is very difficult for me to say, and some of you are not going to believe what you're going to hear, and this is going to cause a firestorm. But I'm going to tell you, because it's my responsibility to report what I think is something you need to know. Expo in one of the early expos, we had a keynote speaker. And when we do this kind of thing, we have commercials. So I created some television and radio commercials. And, you know, when you have well-known names, you mention them because you want people to come and see them. And they want people to come and see them. Okay? So the people who are speaking want their names in commercials. So we created these commercials, television commercials, radio commercials. We were on the internet. I talked about it. And they even say on the air that they're coming. And they're going to be speaking, and they're looking forward to being there. Well, Expo number 1 or 2, we had a guy, and he was going to be there, and he didn't show up. And this is after he's on television with the commercials, about $10,000 worth of commercials on just television. He doesn't show up. And I found out that his mother had passed away, and that was the reason. But his mother had passed away 10 days before, and between the expo and his mother passing away, he did another event in another location. And then there was, well, you know, can't get there, can't fly there. And we said, well, we'll pick you up. We have a pilot. We'll pay for the fuel, and we will pick you up. And it wasn't that he was that far away. It was maybe an 8-hour drive. But we would have picked him up. And he said, no. That kind of bothered me. I felt terrible about his mom, but But when you add into that equation that he didn't show up to our event, but yet he showed up to another event in another state, farther away, that bothered me. And I said, I'll never have this guy back. Well, I have a friend, a freeze-dry guy. I said, hey, this guy's a really good guy. Why don't you have him come back? And I said, no. Why don't you have him come back? No. So expo after expo after expo, freeze-dry guy asked me if I'd have him back. He's a really good guy. Come on, have him back. Finally, I relented, and I said, okay, we'll have him back at this one, expo number 7. So for maybe months before the expo, I was on the radio with him, and he said he was coming. I was on another radio show as a guest, and he's coming. He's looking forward to it. The Monday before the expo, so the expo starts on Friday, the Monday before the expo, I was in the vehicle with Mrs. Finelli. We were going to the meetup, and I said, would you mind calling this man and see, just reconfirming? Call his vice president and just see if he's coming. And his vice president voicemail answered, and so Mrs. Finelli said, just reconfirming that he's coming. And we got a message that said that he would not be able, an email that night, Monday night, late Monday night, when we came back from the meetup, that this man was not going to be at the expo. So that's Monday, and the expo starts, setting up on Friday. So I change the schedule and pull him off, rearrange it, and then I get a call a couple days later from this other guy, and he says he's going to, he can fill in for the guy who wasn't going to be there. I said, okay. So I rearranged the schedule again because he's coming in on a late flight, and so I rearranged the schedule for Saturday and Sunday, and this man speaks on Saturday, and then he speaks Sunday at 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. And at 11 o'clock, the man comes up to me who filled in for the original speaker, and he said, hey, thanks so much. I had a great time. I'm leaving. The boss called. The guy who was originally supposed to speak, and he said, I've got another engagement on Tuesday, and I've got to leave. So he left it Sunday at 11 o'clock for a Tuesday event. I said, oh, is it important? He said, oh, yeah, it's real important. I said, okay. You're never coming back. And here's why. Let me tell you who these guys are. The Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. That would be Richard Mack. Richard Mack stood me up twice. He stood you up twice. He stood up all of you who came to see him 2 times in a row. Now, this time, he spoke at another event on the same weekend. Did he call me to tell me? Nope. Did he call me the first time to tell me? Nope. He just says he's coming and doesn't show up. And here's the problem. The problem is that people look up to him. People respect him. People think that he's there for them. Well, I'm here to tell you that he wasn't here for us. Now, I give him space. I don't pay him to show up. I don't pay for his travel. I don't, but I do give him all the space at no charge. I promote him at no charge, and he doesn't show up twice. So I sent him an email yesterday, and I said that I want nothing to do with him, nothing to do with Mr. Dalton, his executive vice president, and nothing to do with the CSPOA, and take my name off the rolls. I want nothing to do with them. I won't raise money for them. I won't support them. I won't endorse them, and I won't have them on usaprepares.com. Why? Because when we look up to the CSPOA, like Sheriff Joey Kyle, a member of the CSPOA, and he says he's here to defend and support the Constitution, reaffirmed his oath, and then we have a guy like Bob Estep in his own county, Christian County, Missouri, and he gets beaten by a Sparta cop within the county of Christian in Missouri, and Sheriff Joey Kyle does not investigate nor arrest the cop who tased the man. Our instructor, our student, Bob Estep, I got a problem with it. I want nothing to do with the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. Nothing. Now, I'm not telling you what to do, but I feel it's incumbent upon me to tell you what I learned. Now, when they ask you for money, they ask you for money to help defend, these sheriffs who get themselves in trouble for one reason or another. And the legal bills are like $120,000. I was asked to raise money for a friend of ours, Shayne Harger. Raise money and get the money to send the money to CSPOA. We'll help. We'll help disperse that money. No way. I said, no way. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I didn't do it. However, I worked with Aaron Dakins to help Shayne Harger raise a small amount of money for Shayne Harger to help him. And we knew exactly where that money was going. And we put on the Truth Traveler website who donated, first names and the amount. So they could see that amount got there, and Shayne Harger could see that amount. It was transparent to everybody that we didn't skim anything off the top. Nothing off the top. Now, when you think about back to the CSPOA, Rick Dalton coming to speak to the CSPOA, he had to make last-minute reservations. It costs more for last-minute reservations than it does when you book in advance. So he spent more of your money, more of your donated money than he needed to, and then he boogied without spending more time to make that trip count to the maximum benefit of you, the listeners, you, the students, you, the supporters of the CSPOA. I want nothing to do with them.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective, and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Yeah. So would it have been nice if Richard Mack actually met his obligation or his commitment that he said he would, and been at the Get Prepared Expo? Wouldn't it have been nice to see his reaction to the K-9 squad? Now, that's one step below SWAT. one step below SWAT. Those guys were at the Get Prepared Expo for the weekend. Okay? The canines. One step below SWAT. Wouldn't it have been nice if he said, what are you guys doing here? Okay? And if he stood with us. No, he couldn't because he wasn't there. And he could have said, what are you guys doing sending this black fire truck? Since when is a fire truck black? Okay? Only for intimidation do you paint a fire truck black and come in with lights and sirens, right? So Richard Mack missed it. So when this becomes front page news, Richard Mack will not be participating in the front page news, and I will not be participating with anything that the CSPOA does. And by the way, there were people who know Richard Mack at the expo, and they were absolutely shocked, and they couldn't believe it. And you know what? I think we're going to lose membership. And I think when I tell my meetup group exactly what happened, they're probably going to consider doing the same thing that I did and distance myself and remove myself from the CSPOA. By the way, the canines, those aren't nice puppies. Those are attack dogs. Attack dogs. That's what they do. Kyle from Montana, you're on with me and John Regan. Welcome.
Good morning, Vince. Just wanted to apologize to everybody for not being able to make it. I had some extenuating circumstances and couldn't dump everything on my wife, and it's just too much. We're moving. I'm going to redo and reset up and redeploy, so to speak. But I just wanted to warn John. John, I found that when you run into a guy that's super friendly, very intelligent, they always have a devious side when you're speaking of him taking a blackmail photo of you.
What? Yeah, you're talking about me. You know, I took some pictures of our instructors who were here, you know, around the kitchen table, and you know, they're nice shots. They're you know, certainly are not blackmail shots in any way, shape, or form, but they're good, well composed shots. And Kyle, you know, the amount of fun that we had, we're laughing until way in the wee hours of the morning. Nobody got any sleep. And, you know, when you get a whole bunch of really bright people together, it really is a lot of fun. And, it's kind of like a family reunion, but, it's nonstop hysterical. Would you say that's accurate, John Regan?
Yeah, you know how it is at the expo with all those seminars to go to. Well, when you're there at the farm, it's like I'm sitting there. There's these two major conversations going on at the same time, and I'm trying to follow both of them.
Yeah, and you know, we did something. We did something very interesting, and that is we have this poster that a lot of people have signed who have been at the farm and instructors with us, and it's about maybe 20 by 30. And I have two of them, one for people who are at the expo who exhibited and you know, participated, and another one for those who are instructors and have been at the farm. And it's really neat. So, you know, you see Ed Marbini and Joel Wallach and John Regan and Norm Shealy and, you know, Rick Miller, Matt Stein, and the list goes on, Sam Bushman, Kurt Crosby, the list goes on, Aaron Dakins, Brad Dakins, the list goes on and on. And it's a lot of fun because really what sets us apart is we are not a radio show with guests. We're like a family. We really are a family. And we act like a family. And when you become one of us, you have access to us. So if you need a rocket scientist, we've got one. If you need a brain surgeon, we've got one. If you need an analyst, we've got one. Need authors, we've got plenty of them. Kyle, you want to hold through the break or
Sure.
What are your thoughts?
Sure, I'll hold.
Okay. Unscripted today. And we're going to talk about spy tech and health on the other side. Kyle from Montana, USAPress.com instructor, John Regan instructor, and I will be right back. Kyle, we did miss you at the expo, but we're going to have another kind of an expo. It might not be the same, and I don't know if it's going to be at a city location because those guys they play rough. They really play rough, and they're in the business of intimidation. So that's exactly the opposite of our message. We'll be right back. I'm Vincent Finelli.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
I was talking with Trevor during the break, and he said that, I was a little wishy-washy on my point of view about the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. I thought that was hysterical. I've been accused of burning bridges. One of our instructors said, Vinny, people say that you burn bridges. And yeah, I do. And did I burn a bridge between me and the CSPOA? And do I ever think that bridge will be put back together? No, I don't. Am I concerned about that bridge not being put back together? No, I'm not. Why is that? The reason is, why would I want a bridge to an organization that's let me down twice? And more importantly, an organization that has let down our class. Okay, people have traveled. They look at who's going to be at the expo. They say, "Wow, I'm looking forward to meeting this person, that person, next person." And then when those people are not there, it's a disappointment. And part of the equation, part of the reason why they went to the expo was to meet Sheriff Richard Mack, and he didn't show up. And then his right-hand guy, Rick Dalton, leaves early, without spending more time with the people who came to see his boss, Richard Mack. So when they do that kind of thing, they say, and I asked him if it was something important. He said, yeah. Well, obviously it's more important than us. All right. I take exception to that because people came to see him. And the last time he was with us, I put him in a theater, a 700-seat theater So I want to know how many times Richard Mack has been in a theater with 700 seats. I want to know. How often does that happen? And he went to another event instead and didn't even tell me. So, did I burn that bridge? Yeah, absolutely. And will I contribute to the CSPOA? Absolutely not. Will I support, endorse them? No. Will I have them on the radio? No. And then one of their members, Shayne Harger, said, "Vinny, it's a really good organization. It's got great potential. We should support it." And I said, "Shayne, let me tell you something. The only reason that the CSPOA helped you is because I rode them. I called him and said, Shayne Harger, Chief Shayne Harger got fired. He attended the CSPOA meeting. I was there when he attended it. He went back home and got fired as the chief of police in Nez Springs, New Mexico, because he attended the CSPOA meeting. You can't let him hang out to dry. We have to come to his rescue." Shayne Harger was arrested. He's facing prison time. And I said, the CSPOA has to come to his rescue. And Shayne told me on a phone call, he said, "Boy, not everybody's happy with the CSPOA. They're getting some heat." And I said, "Yeah, where do you think they're getting heat from?" That would be me. Because I was angry. I was angry that the CSPOA was willing to let him hang out to dry. And where is the CSPOA when Bob Estep, one of us, gets tased in his car? In the county of Christian County, Missouri, where there's a CSPOA sheriff, Joey Kyle. How come you haven't arrested the cop who tased and beat Bob Estep, a 68-year-old farmer? And then they brought him, your deputies were involved in this. Your deputies were on the scene, Joey Kyle. And then he was brought for a breathalyzer test. And in 25-degree weather, he was let out to walk to his car. It took about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes to walk to his car with one shoe. What a crappy police force. I'm angry. So I burned that bridge. And I burned the bridge with that gun dealer who would not keep his guns safe. Wouldn't do it. Do I want a bridge there? Absolutely not. So, go along to get along. Really? Really? Boy. Sometimes people are scheduled to be on the air with me. And what I do is I'll email them, I'll call them, many times ahead of time. Make sure that we're still good. Make sure that nothing has changed. Once in a while I hear, "Oh, I forgot." How often do you think that those guys come back on the air with me if they forgot? When they forget, they let you down, our class. That's that honesty and integrity thing. If I see a lack of honesty and a lack of integrity, I cut them loose. I don't yell and scream, lose my temper. They just don't come back. And if someone comes to our expo and exhibits and sells something and fails to deliver, I ride them until they deliver, and then they don't come back. It's only happened once. Only happened once. John Regan, back to you. I'm going to hit the mute button and calm down.
Well, I think I'm going to hold the Spy Tech and Control articles that I have today over until Monday, and I'll push your button with those then.
John, I can't help it. There was one of our really good scouts came over to the farm. I'll tell you, he's an awesome guy. Came over to the farm after after the expo was over. And he said, Denny, you just don't understand the energy that you radiate. And, you set people in motion with the things that you say. You get them to do things. And, I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it until he told me, Monday. I just become passionate about certain things, and I think that we need to treat people, the golden rule would be kind of nice. It really would. And there are a lot of things I don't understand, John. I don't understand why preachers aren't helping their parishioners, their members, become more self-sufficient, I guess they don't want them to be. I guess the preachers want their flock to be dependent on them being a broker between God and their members. I guess that's what they want, and I resent the fact that that churches make you feel obligated to pay money. And they have a building and so forth. But why aren't they teaching preparedness? Why aren't they saying, you know what? Listen, this Sunday we're going to take, for this 1 hour, message, we're going to praise the Lord. Now we're done praising the Lord. Now we're going to teach you something about how to survive. Yeah, what's wrong with that? Catholic Church has all these rituals, stand ups, kneel, make the sign of the cross, those kind of things. Let's get that done in 5 minutes. Let's get that done. And, let's teach some other things too. I think that would be a nice thing if churches would do that. Now, I'm probably going to get some complaints about that. Maybe that is sacrilegious. I don't know. But, I think it'd be really nice if churches taught us about physical preparedness, because, man, we're in a lot of trouble. And it'd be nice if they started saying, you know what, we're going to teach you how to say no. But I don't think that churches necessarily want you to be independent, because if we're all independent, we probably wouldn't go to church. Back to you.
I'll drop down to the health section if you're following along on the news tab at the financialstateoftheunion.com, resources for USA Prepares, April 1st, and none of these are April Fools. Root cause. And I believe I talked about this before. And if there's any of you near the Dallas area, Dr. Tennant is having one of his presentations next week, Thursday night. And if you want information on that, just contact me. I'll get that to you. And this is probably one of the things you'll hear in there is about root canals and cancer. And this article particularly talks about root canals and breast cancer. And it's, nice when you get confirmation from different sources. Now, what they have yet to learn, what Dr. Tennant's found out, is when you look at your dental layout, your teeth sit on an acupuncture meridian. These are basically like electrical circuits within your body. The teeth don't complete the circuit, but they're on the circuit. And what this article found out is that high correlation between root canals and especially the side of the mouth the root canal's on and which breast gets cancer. But it's not just breast cancer, it's other kinds of cancer. Dr. Tennant did a study with an oncologist, and basically with the exception of this guy that was a heavy smoker, the location of the tumor was on the same meridian as a root canal tooth for most of it, and the rest of it was on a tooth that was leaking voltage because of mercury filling or a crown that has a metal base. So, and even going back before, these gentlemen, the dentist that created the root canal spent the remainder of his career trying to get dentists to stop doing them because you cannot get all the bacteria out of a tooth. Every root canal tooth is an infection, and that ends up spreading to the bone and putting toxins into your system. The only solution for a root canal tooth is to have it removed.
Yeah. And We absolutely agree and have followed that advice. And where'd that advice come from? Came from John Regan. We learned that at meetups, and a lot of us have followed your advice, John Regan. And even dentists are saying, whoa.
Stress, like many conditions in a fast-paced society, is at epidemic proportions, and one of the most effective ways to support your body during periods of excessive stress is by replacing the nutrients expended during that time. De-stress contains large amounts of B-complex vitamins, in addition to vitamin C, magnesium, and valerian root extract. For more information on this and other great products, contact Lady Talk Live at 855-333-5239. Majestic Earth's Beyond Tangy Tangerine contains no artificial sweeteners or preservatives and is glycemic friendly. This easy dissolving powder contains plant-derived minerals, vitamins, amino acids, and 115 fruits and vegetables. I can't think of anything better for you. For more information on this and other great products, contact Lady Talk Live at 855-333-5239. That's 855-333-LADY.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
John Regan's with us, and John, we talked about root canals at some of the meetups, and you gave a wonderful presentation, so very enlightening. And, that's the kind of thing dentists don't talk about, because even if you go to a dentist, they'll say, oh yeah, I've had a root canal, meaning the dentist will say that they've had them and they're perfectly safe. However, when Mrs. Finelli shattered a tooth, she did not have a root canal because of the discussion and the presentation that you gave. So she could have had one, but she chose not to.
And I had 3 of them, so all 3 of those have been removed. And just before we leave this article, if the root canal infection spreads into the bone where the tooth is connected to, it can form a cavitation. And you can't just see these with regular x-rays. The doctor needs a specific device to do so. I don't know what the technology is that's based on, but in addition to having the tooth removed, you need to make sure the bone is checked, that there's no cavitation there. Otherwise, that cavitation needs to be removed as well. Otherwise, you still have the infection going on in your body.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The next article I have is assault defense. There's a new study that says a high salt diet protects against infection and increases immune function. Now, even in the days where doctors were, warning against salt intake, you could still find information saying that really didn't affect most people's blood pressure, which is the reason to lower the salt intake. There are some people out there that are sensitive to sodium and that their blood pressure does increase when they consume sodium, and those are the people that should be careful about their salt intake. For everybody else, it's not as big of a deal, and this study suggests that, when you end up with an injury, that the salt ends up going to that area, and looks like they're planning on further studies seeing if salt baths and things of that nature would increase getting salt to that area. So it looks like salt and sugar should be a couple of things in your preparedness supplies, not for meals so much as it is for being anti-infection agent for you.
Well, if you ask Dr. Norman Shealy or Dr. Joel Wallach about salt, I think they'll tell you that it's necessary. And I've asked Dr. Joel Wallach about it, and he's just said salt to taste. So, but then again, I was at the meetup on Monday, and there were some new people there that I hadn't seen before. I couldn't believe how much salt they used. I mean, for me, when I don't eat out very often, but when I do, the salt shaker is not something that I reach for. I mean, hardly ever. Now, I did have a little bit yesterday with tomatoes. I'll put a small amount of salt on, like on a tomato sandwich or something. But other than that, very, very rarely do I add salt. But I think you're right, because if you look at what one of the first things that happens when you are hospitalized in an emergency, you get an IV drip, right? Saline solution. Isn't that what they do?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know that when I put a salt lick out for the cows, not one of them avoids it. They all go to the salt lick. I mean, they don't race toward it, but they salt to taste, and they want it. And by the way, did you see that salt pile in the barn?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Was it 2,000 pounds?
And that's all my fault, because at the meetup I said, if you don't have at least a ton of salt, you're not a prepper.
Well, it was a little short of 2,000 pounds because I fed the cows maybe 200 pounds of it. So it was 1,800 pounds and on that pallet of salt. That's all your fault. All your fault. But I wanted to make sure you saw it while you were here at the farm, that I do pay attention to what you say. Captain John Regan's with us, and we're going to get back to the news. I hope, well, I guess we're not going to do spy tech. I guess we're going to do some more health advice today. Captain John Regan, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. Click on the news tab. We'll be right back.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Class, I got a chance to see the video Living Off-Grid in Montana. I got a preview copy before it became available to the general public. And I showed it at the meetup, the USA Prepares meetup, Monday night. It was many Monday nights ago. And everyone just loved it. So I wrote a review, and I invite you, if you've seen it, to write a review on Amazon. And the way you do that is go to Amazon and type in Living Off-Grid Montana, Living Off-Grid in Montana, Rich Sheben, and you can write your review. So I gave him 5 stars. It was an excellent DVD. John Regan, what's next?
Well, the third article under health, rice advice, actually includes some preparedness advice as well. What this does is they prepared rice, and this isn't the 5-minute rice, this is the long cooking rice. They added a teaspoon of coconut oil, which a lot of us use anyway.
Mm-hmm. Cooking
it with the coconut oil and refrigerating it overnight for 12 hours before eating it cuts up to 60% of the calories from the rice. So if you're wanting to cut down on your carb calories, this could be a way of doing it. And because what happens is while it's sitting in the refrigerator overnight, that coconut oil apparently affects a lot of the starch so that your body doesn't absorb it. But in conjunction with that, it talks about the danger in eating leftover rice. And that's because there can be spores of a bacterium which would survive the cooking. And then overnight, those spores, which are very tough to destroy, would then basically break open. The bacteria would grow and multiply, so that if you just leave the rice at room temperature or don't reheat it properly, you could end up with food poisoning. So there's the preparedness lesson in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you got to wonder when you go to a Chinese restaurant or an Asian restaurant that serves rice. What do they do with the rice that's left over at the end of the day? Do they just reheat it for tomorrow? And who doesn't? I'm not faulting him for it. I'm just saying, who does not cook rice, put the rest of it in the refrigerator? John, that's very common.
So as long as you reheat it thoroughly, kills the bacteria, it's not a problem.
Yeah, but who does that, John? I mean, most people, how do you reheat it thoroughly? Do you re-steam it? Do you, some people just pop it in the microwave oven for 30 seconds, boom. It's warm, good to go, right? It's not, right?
And again, if it wasn't contaminated with the spores, it might not be a problem, but it's one of those things where, in normal times, you get food poisoning. It's probably not such a big deal. Mm-hmm. In survival times, you get food poisoning. Can be the difference between life and death.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. What's next?
Well, I've put together like half a dozen preparedness-related articles, and the first one I call Brief Story, and that's not brief story, which would be grammatically correct. It's about how to sew your own boxer briefs. Mm-hmm. Because, like I say, when there's no supply chain, you just can't go to the store and buy replacements. So this has an article with videos, and they say it's very, very simple to do. And so I just posted there for your perusal.
Yeah, remember when Bill Clinton was running for the presidency and Bob Dole was running for the presidency, and they were asked, you're running for president. Do you prefer boxers or briefs? And Bill Clinton said briefs, and when they asked Bob Dole, he said, "Do you prefer boxers or briefs?" He said, "Depends." That's a problem. And speaking of depends, you have an article on your website. We're going to be talking about that. When having a computer to let you know when you have to go. You going to be talking about that?
I'm going to hold that one over until Monday.
Yeah, because so many of us in politics need to know. A computer needs to tell us politicians, right, or we politicians, when we need to pee. Jeez, I can't believe it. There's a computer that tells people this? Gosh. Okay, back to you.
The next one I've entitled The Link Lifetime Plan. It's a story out of USA Today that talks about how meat eaters consume 7,000 animals in their lifetime. And they break it down to, it's 11 cows, 27 pigs, 2,400 chickens, 80 turkeys, 30 sheep, and 4,500 fish. Mm-hmm. So when you are doing your preparedness calculations, this is what the average person consumes during a lifetime, and that might help you in planning those preparations there.
So if we reduce the number of politicians we have, we could save 11 cows per politician we didn't have, huh? 80 turkeys, 30 sheep, 4,500 fish. I think if the animals knew this, they'd do something about it. Oh man. I am just, I am trying really hard not to say a whole bunch of things. I'm really trying. But, okay, well, what's next?
And I talked about a death of a woman and her 13-month-old daughter here in the Metroplex. I think it was last week before. We've got another one, naked man discovered on a Minnesota golf course. Mm-hmm. Found naked, died as a result of hypothermia. Mm-hmm. And, especially with the news that Dr. Richard Miller came with staring a mini ice age in the face here, I thought this would be an appropriate article to bring up. It's important to, protect yourself when you're outside. And, you can look at the Eskimo. You do have humans that live in some pretty extreme conditions, but you need some layers of clothes. And if you don't have them on and you start suffering hypothermia, your body can think you're actually burning up, which is why these people take their clothes off, which makes their situation even worse, and they end up dying, and there they are, found dead, naked, in this case on the golf course.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let me read something to you. This is the post that's on USA Prepares. On June 20th, 2013, the City of Dalton police officer arrested Green. That's the guy, Mr. Green, for driving under the influence. Green told the arresting officer that his mother was ill and alone. He implored the officer to have someone check on her. No one checked on Ada Green. Once incarcerated, Green again notified the officials about his mother's condition. He asked the jail staff to send someone over to ensure that she was safe. No one checked on Ada Green, despite Green's pleas. Green was still in custody 5 days later when Ada Green was found in her home by a friend, deceased. Devastated, Green was subsequently released from jail and placed on probation for the DUI conviction. Nearly a year later, on June 2nd, 2014, Green dialed 911 and was connected to a 911 dispatcher. Green told the 911 dispatcher that he wanted to see the Dalton police officer who arrested him for a DUI in 2013, a year before. The 911 operator asked what's the problem? Green responded, the problem is he let my mama lay up here and die. That's the problem. During the 82-second 911 phone call, Green did not raise his voice, threaten the 911 dispatcher, or insult her in any way. He used expletives 2 times in passing. First he said, the sorry blank a-hole knows me, referring to the Dalton police officer who had arrested him in 2013. Later, in the conversation, he used the words BS. For that, he was arrested. That's what's going on with our police. So the police department, the government, those involved in imprisoning him, did not check on his mother. And because Green was incarcerated, he couldn't do it. So they let this man's mother die. And when he was outraged, and he wanted to talk to the police officer who arrested him, and he used the word BS, okay, and a-hole, those 2 words, he was arrested. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this? These cops are absolutely, positively out of control. And these are the people whom we've hired to protect and defend us. Where are our constitutional sheriffs? And that's another thing. So the CSPOA wants us to give them money so that they can educate the sheriffs. So here's what happens. CSPOA asks you for money, and then they pay the transportation for these sheriffs and peace officers to go to a convention. And they feed them, they pay for their hotels, motels, and travel on your dime. And I object to this, and I've had a long debates off the air with CSPOA members and administration. And I maintain, what? We have to pay these guys to learn their job? We have to pay them to learn how what their oath means? To pay them to go on a junket? And then the response is, well, they've got budgets, and, they don't have a lot of money, and they can't go. And really? Really? So we have to send them on a junket? And we have to pay for it? I'm not buying it. I'm not part of it. I don't want anything to do with the CSPOA. Nor Richard Mack. Seriously. And, this may cost me a broadcast. This may cost me a network connection. And if it does, so be it. So be it. John Regan and I'll be right back.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins. But did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know BidBit.co. Why? Because BidBit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your product and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at BidBit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at BidBit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. BidBit.co.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
John Regan's with us, and John, we've got Michael in New York. Michael, welcome.
Thank you, Vincent. Good morning, gentlemen. Just real quick, guys, so you can get back to it, but I wanted to clarify on IVs, Vincent. It's not saline. It's actually sugar water. That's the only way they keep them alive when they're in critical condition. And because the body runs on sugar, not protein or salt, but sugar. Fortunately, because the medical establishment are a bunch of idiots too, they use, the cheapest garbage sugar they can get, which will sustain, but it doesn't really regenerate and bring the life force back into the body like a real whole sugar would. So I just wanted to clarify that for you. Otherwise, great listening to you guys. Thanks for all the information.
Well, Michael, they do use an intravenous drip, and it is a saline drip. They do.
When it's critical? When there's someone's in a critical condition?
Take a look. I'll put a post on the website. But in any event, what was your reaction to my thoughts on the CSPOA?
Yeah, I was very surprised to hear this, and disappointed, of course, greatly. And but I agree with you 100% as far as, hey, don't these guys know their jobs? I mean, they're under oath to uphold the Constitution. They don't even know what it means. And they have, the public has to pay them for the education. I agree with that wholeheartedly. It doesn't add up right there. But the fact that we do need the sheriffs organized and up to speed with what their real job entails, serving the public and the country. So it's very disappointing, disheartening. No communication, nothing like that from Sheriff Mack. That just, it's very disappointing. At least, good communication. Sorry, Vincent, unable to attend, conflict of interest or whatever. And then I'll have my, rep there and, he'll fill in for me. And, it's really disappointing. No question about that. Very disheartening.
Thanks very much, Michael. Appreciate your call.
Okay, guys. Take care now.
Thank you. John Regan.
Now, let me quickly go through these last three articles. Hot chocolate to die for, going without the flow, and damn news. The first grandmother in Italy poisons herself, her husband, son, and grandchildren after making them hot chocolate that had been sitting under her sink for like 25 years past the sell-by date. And they believe it was that the powdered milk in this had gone bad. So just, advise have your preparedness food stored properly. Gulf Stream is slowing down faster than ever. Fresh water from melting ice sheets. They make European winters colder. And I know that Rick is going to get more into that tomorrow. And a new report talks about there are more than 900 mining dams throughout the U.S., many of which are in bad shape. And a lot of these mining dams have a bunch of toxins in it, so you should be aware of where these dams are, what condition they're in, and there's more than 300 in the United States that carry the high hazard designation. That means that failure of the dam would cause loss of human life. Vincent?
Yeah, and that would be, rapid loss of life. But, the leaching of the chemicals, the toxins behind the dam, are probably causing the loss of life, not at a rapid kill, but a slow kill. What about that, John Regan?
Yeah. In fact, when I visited Montana, probably about 15 years ago, found this town, Libby, Montana, is absolutely beautiful. And in researching it, because it's an area that I might have been considered living in, found out it was contaminated from mining operations.
Yeah. And when we talk about God, and I wonder if he's looking down at us and saying, what a bunch of dopes you guys are. I gave you everything, and you're trashing it. You can't even get along with people. You can't even leave people alone on the other side of the planet. All for individual greed. It's quite upsetting. Well, John Regan, I'll see you on Monday, and tomorrow Ricky Rocket, and we're going to talk about climate, and you might want to pay attention to that. Above all, honesty and integrity, what happens next is up to you.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.